Okay, our next guest,
Yeah.
also a former athlete, has done many different roles on campus. I think you'll find him to be a very friendly guy to have on the show, and I think you'll enjoy having him. And I'm pretty sure he's going to want to talk about somebody needed to correct or auto-correct what happened with the whole baseball thing last week. And so this would be the right person to do it.
Okay.
Somebody
Okay. Auto correct.
Well, we need, yeah. Right, here we go. Let's see. You'll see.
I feel confused.
Well, correct.
Good.
Hey, welcome on.
Oh, good. All
I
right.
heard there was people hanging out.
He heard there was free
I
coffee.
heard
Yes.
that. Where's the
Good to see
coffee?
you. Yeah. All right.
I was gonna
Rob
bring
took the coffee away.
I was gonna bring a dish full of donuts.
Okay.
Other things.
Man,
So,
he has
what
done
do you-
some roles on campus.
What are you all doing here?
Well,
Just hanging out?
Just
Hanging
hanging
out.
out.
Hanging out.
Just hanging out.
I love it.
one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on the show, Pedro,
Uh-oh.
was because there was some controversy last week about baseball and what and so I'd like to
saw.
talk about how I want to get to the root of the problem of why Doug was so frustrated. I know the answer.
I thought I'd be the best person.
I thought you'd be able to help us
Oh, wow.
unpack that.
Okay.
Why the Phillies are now in the World Series,
Okay.
and
First of all,
how we arrived
nobody
at that. Yeah.
Yeah, no one predicted Phillies
Right.
like Houston.
But
So,
can you give us an insight on what you
Okay.
think happened and why Doug was so upset about it?
so I didn't see the full clip. What I did see was I was concerned. It was disturbing. Why do you hate baseball so much? Why do you hate
Yeah, Doug.
people who love baseball?
This is what happens to me.
You
They
like-
want me to get animated.
Yeah.
They want me to do it, and then they come and attack
That's really
me
what
after
this is
I
about.
do it.
Yeah.
So
We
it's
just-
kind of like, Doug, be funny, get animated, da da da. And then when I do, they say, okay, we
How
got
does
it.
how does that make you feel?
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they pull your string and then everybody just wants
So
to
Whatever I can do to serve the community.
Oh,
Here's what I believe.
there.
Here's what I believe happened. The Phillies came back and beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they were down. They're dead. They were basically dead, right?
Who's dead?
The Phillies
Oh.
were dead.
Okay.
They were in the bottom
In the
of
first game? Okay.
ninth inning, right? Or top of the ninth,
Mhm.
and they were down 2, and so they're dead because they're going to play. They're going to lose that game. They're going to lose the next game.
Feels like strong.
And so when you're dead, then all of a sudden you can play free and you can win. But your beef, I believe, was that the body of work is not it's being relegated to little or nothing.
Yeah, in
The
baseball
body of
particularly,
work.
yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah. You play 162 games and,
Right, but-
It takes 2
everything,
games
and then it's done in 2 games.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You don't like the format. You have an issue with the format.
The body of work, the 162. Let's not play 162 if we're going to decide it in 3.
Okay.
But to be clear, you love baseball. You love baseball coaches. You
I
love
do.
everything.
You
I
love
do.
people who love
I
baseball.
like people who like baseball.
Okay.
Yes, all that is
So
So
you
that's
played,
cleared
you
up.
played
Let's move
baseball here.
True story. Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
And what years were you there, and who was your coach?
So I played from '92. Well, I was here from '92 to '96. I played my freshman year, and then at the conference tournament, I was sliding into second base. So I was a freshman.
Yeah.
Last game of the season, slid, did a pop-up slide, and felt something pop. And then discovered I had herniated 2 discs
Oh
my
as an
goodness.
18-year-old. Almost
Jumped
19.
that for-
Yeah, so that's kind of been a major part of the story. But I was, I couldn't find anybody who would do surgery on an 18-year-old. They said, you're way too young,
Yeah.
we're not going to do it, so you're just going to have to try everything to
Yeah.
try to make it feel better.
Wow.
So I didn't, I was hurt in a lot of pain for a year and a half. So I didn't play sophomore and junior year.
Okay.
Finally, at whatever that was, soon to be 20-year-old,
Yeah.
finally found somebody to do surgery. So I had
Wow.
surgery as a
Really?
20-year-old.
Wow.
Recovered my junior year. Tried to play the second half of my junior year with some stops and starts, and then played my senior year.
Okay.
So yes, I was part of the team from '92 to '96.
Yeah.
And you coached here.
Correct. Yep. I helped Lynn coach for
Oh, I thought you
about
meant golf.
7. No, well, for that. And then helped was an assistant coach for about 8 years.
Yeah.
About 3 years longer than
Yeah.
I was going to.
I don't know if you know this about Pedro, but he was quite the hooper too.
Oh.
I think he could have probably
No, he
played
did.
ball.
We did the 6 a.m. league for
Yeah,
about
yeah,
a year.
Well, that was
Yeah.
behind.
No.
That was aftermath.
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
say he was in school.
Yeah.
So you
No,
played
no.
basketball here too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No one ever accused me.
Intramural champ.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, do I get?
You could have played on the team.
Do I go in the Hall of Fame for that?
We'll
Intramural
get a
champion
record
for
for you.
Everybody wants
Bring
Hall of
your
Fame.
records,
Yeah.
and you could get on the board in the
Yeah.
locker room.
Oh,
If you
come
have
on.
anybody who did stats
Come on.
from
I
intramural,
got t-shirts
just-
to prove.
it's
I got
character
two, I
traits
got
now.
six.
yeah,
Intramural champs 4 years running.
yeah,
That's
So-
good.
Oh,
Yeah, come on.
pretty impressive.
I'm
That's
just
worth
saying,
the board.
Where's the
Yeah.
love and respect for
That's great.
the intramural guys?
So you've done many roles on campus.
Okay.
Current role.
Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah. If you want
Start to finish.
Yeah.
And let's start with, what was your major when you came in as a freshman?
And what's the end game?
All that. Now answer.
There's five. I think I can. What was my major? I didn't have a major coming into Greenville, so
Yeah.
I was that
Rick
kid.
McPeak was your advisor.
Yeah, no, not yet, but sort of. I mean, if he had been here,
So
yeah,
that's what I meant.
that wasn't quite
No, what's it
a
called?
thing yet, ITAP. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
came in '92 and was undecided. I knew, so first generation college kid. So I knew, well, at least I thought I knew that college was the thing to do. But came in undecided. I think I was undecided as long as you could be. So like the records office,
Right.
you know.
It's time to
Said,
be
needed to
said
decided.
you've taken all the classes. If
Yeah.
you don't come into the office
Yeah.
today and declare a major,
You and I are-
yeah,
you and I are brothers
yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
you're done taking classes.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
taken all the
that's
gen eds?
exactly right.
So, but by that time, I had already kind of had a sense that kind of sociology, social work was kind of my thing. So, I mean, by the time I declared,
Rick
I was
Stevens.
halfway through. Yeah. So Rick Stevens was my mentor. Dr. Vanessa Brown, really, she kind of took me under her wing and said, "Hey, you're coming with me. You're gonna do the social work thing." I said, "Oh, okay, sounds good."
Y'all in
Yeah.
that direction.
Did she take you to the record
Yeah,
shop?
yeah.
Come on.
No,
Just
yeah.
tell 'em.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she said I didn't even look. She said, "Don't
Yeah.
read it, just sign here." She
Yeah.
said, "Here, sign
That's
it."
great.
So that's kind of how that. So sociology and social work were my areas when I was here.
And
Which
then-
was a pretty good fit.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
in general, when you look at the field and look
Now
at
looking
you.
back, yeah,
Yeah.
it sort of kind of all made sense. I mean, at the time, mostly what I knew is that I liked people. I liked
Yeah.
hanging out with people. I liked stories, so I was
Yeah.
always attracted to and appealed to. I wanted to know the
Yeah.
story. So I was
Right.
at 17, 18,
Yeah.
19.
Weren't
Tell me
you
anything.
friends
Yeah.
with the guys that were
Oh,
jars
boy.
of clay?
Uh,
Weren't you friends with those guys?
Yeah, so some
Are
of those
you-
guys.
You're
Yeah.
sore at them now because they made money and you've worked in higher ed?
Yeah. I'm
Is
sort of
there a
kind of
rub?
the
Is
fifth-
there a rub there?
No, I sort of kind of consider myself the fifth jars. I was in school with
Really?
four of them. I guess the four original members. Great guys. Still stay connected with them. But yeah, we overlapped.
Social work makes perfect sense for you. You are probably one of the most relational people I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I can admit on the show, it's hard for me to keep up with the friendship because I'm not as good at it. So it's
Right.
like, we have a long lasting friendship and it's always good,
Yeah.
but I can't.
Because of him.
I can't do that all the time. It's hard for me. And he's so good at it. I was always impressed with him.
Yeah.
You're probably doing
It
something
is-
tonight.
it is-
Are you doing
That's
something
why I
with
wanted
your
to bring
friends
in that
tonight?
soothe Doug. I mean, I felt like
Yeah.
the friendship piece.
He does
Yeah.
soothe me.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, like I said, it always kind of made sense. I mean, I think I get it from my mom. My mom was always that person. I mean, I remember growing up resenting like how friendly she was, how kind, like, because, I was let's get to the next thing, and she'd
Right.
stop and talk. So after church, I
Right.
want to go to lunch,
Right.
I want to go to the next
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It takes us half an hour to get out the door because if my mom sees anybody, it's saying hi, it's talking. So, and then by the time I was a young adult, I realized that
So the
my
value.
mom,
That
my
makes
mom,
perfect
I've always
sense.
kind of wanted
So-
to be around.
The roles.
Yes.
The roles.
So I came in, so not classically trained in higher ed, wasn't on the path for higher ed. But yeah, as Greenville does, as it's happened to
Did
most
you
of
have a
us.
Did you have a master's?
I did, yeah. So yeah.
Did you have an MSW?
Yep. So graduated from Greenville, then went back to Chicago. Did grad school, was working full time, got married, started a family. So all those things were going on. And then we were literally just visiting Greenville. So we had just had our oldest, Mariah. We were visiting because my in-laws were kind of in this area. We were passing through with, hey, we'll stop on campus. We'll go to the DC. Things were sort of, not great work situation, but wasn't thinking anything in terms of a transition. And then I got introduced to this guy, Norm Hall. Hey, I want you to meet this person. I said, oh, okay. So I met him, and about 20 minutes into the conversation, I was like, "This feels like
Yeah.
an interview. Am I interviewing for?" And he said, "Well, we've got this open
That is
position.
absolutely.
Your
no one's
name's
always
come up.
hiring.
Yeah, your name
name's
came
come
up a
up.
couple times. Is this something that you'd be interested in?" I was like, "No, thanks, but no thanks." Went back up to Chicago that week, and then things really kind of fell apart at the office. Long story short, so then about a week and a half later, called, "Hey, Norm, is that position still?"
The Lord's
What was
probably
that
behind
position?
The Lord's
Yeah,
probably
so
behind
it was. I think at that point it was a coordinator level, so coordinator of residence life. Then it essentially became the dean of students. So was in that role for 12 years, and then was the dean of diversity and inclusion for about seven and a half years, and then the last 2.5 years has been director of diversity initiatives.
And when during that time did you get bitten by a bear in the woods on Norm's trip?
Well, bitten is a strong. Yeah, I got
Scratched.
nudged.
Nudge, okay.
Yeah, I mean, for the
Still.
cameras, I tackled, wrestled down. When you edit this, so that my first walkabout. So whatever that would have been, 2001. Yeah, you have to do the whole.
Did Norm tell you about that when he hired you? You're going to have to go in the woods with the bear.
No, he didn't describe it that way.
I remember
Yeah.
the things that you tried to do to get out of walking.
Oh,
Can't
believe
I
it. You got
tried,
very
really,
creative.
yeah.
I was on your team on
Yeah,
that.
thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of support.
And I'm always volunteering.
Yeah.
If you need any help, I'll go.
Yeah.
He
did,
wanted the Bears. The Bears
did
would have just
9.
destroyed him.
I think I did 9 trips total, which is more than
Oh,
I ever want
goodness.
to be out. Yeah, so I feel good about my record.
That's
I
impressive.
feel great about your record.
9 walkabouts, and
Wow.
I was ready.
That's all of fame.
You been on walkabout?
No. No,
You should
I
take one.
I put my support behind George.
Okay.
And you.
What have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
been?
Yeah, you haven't been either. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you've done
So
so.
comfortable.
I went on a camping trip with
He's
George.
getting hurt.
Did we tell this story already? once?
No,
I can't
I
remember.
don't think so.
When I first started working at Greenville, it was like the first week. George is taking a crew to Florida,
Right.
and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go." I'm in.
Oh,
Florida.
And I had no idea what I was signing for. I
Yeah.
thought we're going to the beach. It's going to
yeah,
be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
We've
You're
been to the
thinking condo.
Everglades. And the next thing I know, I'm in a canoe, and there's like gators
Yeah.
just everywhere. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
Then we went to camp,
Yeah.
and we're in the tents, and there's stuff crawling around. I slept in the people room.
Yeah.
I slept in the people room by
Yeah.
I
myself.
didn't think
For
camping
sure.
was allowed.
Couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
Eugene Douglas' daughter said, I'm not getting in the canoe. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
gator there.
It was so
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds
George
really
is
good.
laughing at
Oh,
the
Yeah.
gator.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he
They
was
won't
Sweaty
follow you unless you.
He rode by me on an alligator.
Yeah.
As I'm
That sounds awful. Sounds absolutely awful. Awful.
So your current position.
Yeah. So director of diversity initiative. So helping us kind of just think through, diverse strategies. Hey, where haven't we been? How can we bring more diverse students? How do we get the story out there about Greenville?
Give us a grade.
Okay.
Give us a grade. On diversity right now. I mean, it's okay if it's slow. It's
Yeah.
fine.
You
Tell-
mean at Greenville?
Yeah, Greenville.
Yeah. I would give us a solid B minus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look surprised.
No, I was.
Did you have a different grade?
No, I just. That's a good grade because
Yeah.
it has something to aspire to.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
we're not.
Yeah. I mean, so
Failing.
like I said, I've been in higher ed now over 20 years. Have really good friends and colleagues who are at a bunch of different institutions. I mean, it's a challenge.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of Christian colleges and universities are in rural settings or in small towns. And so, to get diverse students there.
Right, yeah.
So I'd say, in comparison to what I think the grade would be across the
Right.
spectrum, I think Greenville's kind of right there. I think we're right on the brink of being able to
Yeah.
do some really good stuff. I think
If
that's
you
great.
really need to exact some change from a student, like get them to buy in and get them to make some positive changes in their
Yeah.
life, what's the number one thing you got to do?
Ooh, like around just
Yeah.
kind of anything? Or
Yeah,
talking about
I
like-
know the answer, but I want to hear what you
Oh,
think.
oh,
Yeah, so you better get it right.
We all do. We all know. the answer.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be a pop quiz. Here's what I have.
Okay, right.
I tend to work with students, and so for me it's kind of a side-by-side
Right.
It's a relational thing, so I won't typically ask students to do things that I'm not willing to do with them. I think for me it's a kind of a trust thing. So coming along, the whole coming alongside, so
Right.
working with
No doubt, and that's a good deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
that takes a long time.
but
But if
the
you
right
want a
answer-
shortcut, you want the real answer, call the mother. Call the
yeah,
mother.
oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah.
I'm coming to
For
get the
sure.
car.
For sure.
He's,
Yeah, yeah,
you don't want me to
That's
come
all.
down there, perfect.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, walk alongside,
That's
do
all-
whatever
that's
you
fine,
say.
that's fine.
That's great.
Yeah.
But let's call their mom.
Call it. I like
It's
that.
over.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. So.
That baseball? Do you want to talk about baseball some more? I feel like you're
No, I'm done with
Do you
baseball.
have any questions for us? We always
Oh.
end with letting the guests
Oh.
fire some questions for us if you have anything.
Man, I didn't prepare any questions. I feel like we've handled the baseball thing.
Yeah,
Why-
okay.
why you-
Got that out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
While you're thinking,
Okay.
I really love your daughters. I've had them in class.
Okay.
How are they
They're
doing?
very kind.
Tell me.
They're doing really well. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, so we have a senior, which is insane to me, and a sophomore. So yeah, they both kind of came to Greenville for different reasons, and mostly on their own. I mean, our girls were raised on this campus.
I wanted them to both major in physical
Yes,
education.
I apologize.
I didn't get
Yeah,
that to
sorry.
happen.
Oh, for two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
over two. I apologize. Yeah. So education, we do have one. So
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
sophomore
The mailroom
is-
has never ran smoother.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't quite understand the it seems like the uptick of traffic of young guys into the mailroom. It seems like that when I go there, I have to kind of sift through.
Yeah, they've ordered
They
a
don't
lot
seem to
more
be-
packages.
They don't seem to be getting packages.
Yeah. They just order and send them back. Order and send them back.
No, not today. Not today. Okay, well, I'm just gonna hang out here. Yeah, no, they're both doing really well.
Right.
Yeah, I think, like I said, they grew up on this campus, so we tried to, at least explore options for them. And like I said, for different reasons, they both came here, so we were glad about that. So, yeah, we're doing well.
It just seems to me that you're one in the line of many that gets mentored by somebody at Greenville
Mhm.
and then comes back to Greenville to do the very same
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
So when you tell your story and you tell me who your mentors are, we see that in you as
Mhm.
students.
Yeah.
So that's
Thank you.
fascinating
Thank
to me and encouraging.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't it's funny because I don't even consider myself 20 years in. I don't consider myself I don't think of myself as like
Yeah.
a hired professional. Like that's not what I
Yeah.
was wanting to do. Strive to do. It was that exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you still serving on the CCCU?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool role.
yeah. So yeah, they so this is my second, I think, of third year. So they have they have multiple commissions. So I work on the commission of diversity. So there's probably 8 or 9 of us from again all different institutions. So yeah, trying to think through and strategize and kind of push this work a little bit forward, advance it in terms of how to make Christian colleges and universities a place where.
It might be time to consider yourself a higher.
I mean,
I
it's
think you've
been,
arrived.
I don't, like I said, it has been, I mean, to speak of, I still get together with Dr. Brown, and if 2 or 3 months go by, I mean, she's down the road at SIUE, so when she texted me last week, when we were getting together for lunch, so she is still shaping my life and speaking into my life. So that relationship has always been super powerful. So if I could, to be a part of that kind of relationship with students has always been the thing for me.
But first generational college student, you come to Greenville, and then you go on to get an MSW.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal, Pedro.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, you're so humble about it, and you say, I don't belong, or I really don't
Yeah.
see myself. But the MSW is a big deal. It's not just a simple little 30-hour master's degree.
No.
And so that's a big deal.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I mean, I think it was just an extension of continuing to do the thing that I care about, right? So it put me in places where, so I'm also, not that I'm a huge Enneagram person. We don't have to have a whole Enneagram conversation, but it's a thing.
Can you
guys
guess
don't
his
even know.
number? Can you guess his
know
number?
I'm impressed.
Not
that you know
familiar.
their numbers. Have you heard of the Enneagram?
I've heard of it, but I'm not going to be an
Yeah.
expert.
It has alerts. It doesn't have alerts.
It
It's
doesn't
all
have
right.
any notifications.
Definitely not a 9.
So I'm a 2, which is the helper.
Right.
So that, I mean, like I said, there's a fairly consistent thread
Yeah.
through that. So for me,
Yeah.
pursuing social work at that level was just continuing to going to be in a position to help people.
You're looking good. Are you still in the weight room?
Not as.
Yeah, I've seen you in there.
Not as consistently.
Okay.
Yeah, does the camera add, does it add with the new cameras?
We can
This is a
edit.
slimming
We
camera.
can edit.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good. I didn't know
we
which
can
one
edit.
if we upgraded to the slimming
Golfing?
camera.
Still golfing a little bit?
Yeah, trying to. Yeah, golf has the ups and downs.
I thought
I
I see you in the weight room often.
I was close to giving up the game.
Oh,
It was
really?
that bad, that frustrating. We don't have
Oh,
to
no,
get
don't
to
worry
the
about the
specifics.
score.
We don't have to get to
Just
details.
enjoy
I
it.
thought I was done with golf.
Enjoy
But
being
then-
out there with everybody.
Yeah, it's hard to when you don't know what's going to happen when you swing the club and the ball can go anywhere. But anyways, yeah, still doing all those things.
Good. Perfect.
I don't think I have.
We haven't done the update. Does BJ send you an
I
update?
didn't think you sent it this morning.
We
so I
normally
texted
do
him.
that.
Yeah, we usually do an athletic department update because we try to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about athletics some.
Yeah,
every
I was
time.
wondering. 'cause
Oh,
I felt like
we
there was
do
a
have an
theme.
update.
There it
Yeah,
is.
perfect.
All right.
You
You can stick around for the update. You can ask some questions. The football team was off last week. They traveled to Crown on Saturday.
Yeah.
They have a record of 4-3 and are 2-1 in the UMAC
Nice.
with 3 games to play. Men's and women's cross country team will be running in Louisville, Kentucky this Saturday in the SLAG Championship.
Oh,
The men have won the last 6 in a row
wow.
and 18 overall. The women will be in search of their 18th title.
Wow.
Wow.
We just had to coach that.
Yeah.
It would have been good to maybe read it.
So
It's here.
academic 8-week report, right? Which is a lot more important than Tom's deal about
Right.
somebody being 4-3 or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So no low grades. Senior seminar students off to a
Wow.
good start in terms of their research. We have
Yes.
18 of them.
Good.
And
You're just
so
pulling this
midway
from right out
of his back pocket.
midway
He's got the
through,
numbers right.
the students are.
Love it.
Well, I'm trying to get them to think while these guys try to get them to play.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Men's and women's soccer teams will finish their SLAC regular season this week. Eureka visits Greenville for match on Wednesday. The men start at 5. The women will kick off at 7. On Saturday, Spalding comes to Greenville, 2 p.m. men, 4 p.m. women. The men's team is still in second place in the conference and will advance directly to the semi if they hold that position. Semifinals will be on Thursday, November 3rd. The women's team is battling for the 3rd and 4th position in the conference currently. Volleyball team had another
There we go.
player of the week, Mia Bonacorsi,
Wow.
defeated Westminster last Wednesday. That's her 3rd. The team plays Fontbonne on Tuesday and Webster on Thursday to conclude the conference schedule. So there you go.
And where's the volleyball team in the conference right now?
I think they're first. Yeah.
Just want to get that on the
Mia's got hurt her back,
Ah.
and so I'm not sure she's going to play this week. We might rest her, but she has
Yeah.
gotten 3 players of the week, and Chastity has gotten 3 players of the week. I think there's only 8 that come out, so they've done a really good job.
Yeah.
Those 2. we're
So
hoping
2
she's
regular
healthy.
season matches left.
Yeah, we play the second best team tonight, Tuesday night at 7:00, Fontbonne.
Yep.
So playing home. Yeah.
And more importantly, Mia is considering education,
Okay.
and we need to encourage her to think about doing that because she'd be a wonderful teacher. And we need great teachers
Beautiful.
more than we need people being an AD.
It's very true. Oh, the AD position
There's a-
it's being posted soon.
Yeah.
So if you're
in the
interested,
progression
if you- I
of.
think you're the 3rd person today who might consider it. So if you want to think about it, it's available.
I don't know, the 2 on the Indiogram might not be the greatest.
Yeah.
Later you should read about the 7.
Yeah.
Because they're some of the most fun, hilarious people you've ever met in your life.
Yeah.
Who do you think is a 7? It's like Tigger. You know Tigger? I think the 7th is Tigger.
That's good,
yeah.
Right?
That's true.
That's true.
But I love that without knowing anything about it, you've already applied. You've applied. You're applying.
I'd like to see a race between our pastor Steve and George and just let them go. We should take a camera
Just
and follow both of them around
Okay.
because they both are
I
Tigger.
like it.
I mean, it'd be hard to keep up with them. The camera would have to do a lot of work.
We're looking for some topics for the next show. Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
Thanks for coming, man. We
absolutely.
appreciate it.
This was fun.
All right, thanks.
Very good.
Take care.
Yeah. Very good.
Seriously, you don't get